judge ruling today that Google has illegally built monopolies in tech advertising. The ruling is the second major court defeat for Google in less than a year over antitrust violation claims that the company has illegally monopolized sections of the internet ecosystem. The ruling could force Google to lose some of its online ad business, although the company is likely to appeal. Google has argued that the claims are flawed and could slow innovation, raise advertising fees, and also make it harder for small businesses to grow.
All right, joining us now to offer some more perspective on this case and the implications of it is Ahmed Banafa, San Jose State professor and a tech expert. Ahmed, always good to see you. Thank you for the time. So let's try to understand this ruling here. Why do you believe the federal judge in this case reached the conclusion that Google's advertising technology is acting as an illegal monopoly?
Good to talk to both of you, and I'm glad to be here. I mean, to understand the basis of this judgment, you have to understand the two components that covered in the judgment without going through the technical details. But if you are a customer of Google, there is something called Ad Manager, where it's going to give you, give you some kind of recommendation where to have your ad on your website at the same time, the number of the visitors and who visited, who clicked. So this is the first part. This is only for the customers of Google. The other part, which is the important one, is Google has something called Exchange. That Exchange, take for example a famous website like ASPN or NFL.com. Somebody would like to post an ad on that website. They go through the bidding process, and the highest will get that spot. The key thing here is the judgment here saying Google will give preferences to the companies that dealing with Google, and they're the customers of Google, over the other companies who have no dealing with Google or they're using different platforms. So they're going to be deprived from being in a famous website or a famous event. And this is where they use their own monopoly to twist these kind of actions.
Okay, so Professor, how big of a hit is this to Google? And what might today's decision mean for the company? I mean, what potential changes might they make?
31 from the ad, section, or the ad tech. That's how they call it. Now, the breakup is a possibility, but there could be another remedy for that. For example, having something called behavioral change, which is Google would never prefer their own customers when it comes to the bidding for the spot, for the advertisement. They will open, for the market for the competition, because nobody can compete with Google. You have to understand also the issue that Google is the search engine of the internet, so they have tons of ways for them to reach so many people, and this is where the advertiser would like to have their ad. So this could be a behavioral punishment, or they can ask them, to do something about the advertisement and break up the company into different small companies.
All right. Well, Google, for its part, is sort of framing this as kind of a split ruling. The company is saying that they won a part of this case. The judge did find that its advertiser tool doesn't harm competition in quite the same way. The company planning to appeal the other portions of the ruling. But I want to put up here on the screen a statement from a representative for Google, and it says, quote, "We disagree with the court's decision regarding our publisher tools. Publishers have many options, and they choose Google because our ad tech tools are simple, affordable, and effective." What about that argument that Google is putting out there, that they're just doing the best job of innovating in the face of competition?
Well, I mean, it goes back to the monopoly. If you don't be part of Google, then you're not going to have, the ability to reach more customers, or because they have this data. Beside, what guarantee that Google will have, this kind of refraining themselves from giving the bid or giving that position of the ad to their own customers. There is no mechanism to confirm that, no mechanism to stop them from saying, okay, because you're my customer, I'm going to accept your bid, because they know exactly who's bidding. They know how many they're bidding and how many people are trying to get that spot for the ad. But this is the essence of the case. Is there should be some kind of a mechanism to make sure it's fair for everybody.
But Professor, because the government didn't win all of its claims here, do you think that makes it less likely for Google to divest part of its online ad business?
Well, it's really, as they said, it's you win one, you lose one, but the main thing is the advertisement, because what is Google? Is an ad company. What is Meta? Is an ad company. By the end of the day, they're selling advertisement, and if they can defend themselves from that position by changing their behavior, by giving more room for the competition, then they can go forward with the case. Now, those cases are really not a simple cases. There's a lot of technical part and complications, and they started a long time ago. We just seen this part of this. I mean, Meta was in hot water a few days ago exactly for the same thing, which is they want them to spin out on Instagram and and WhatsApp because of the monopoly that they control the social media. So the Department of Justice, 17 states are pushing forward with this case because they see that if they don't do it now, it's gonna cripple the competition. This is remind me with and I'm old enough to remember this one, the 1980s when AT&T broke up into the baby bells, and the same thing with Microsoft when they asked them to take Explorer out of the operating system, so they're not going to force people to use their own browser. So we're going through the same cycle here.
Yeah, we're certainly seeing a lot of pressure on big tech companies at this moment. We appreciate the perspective. It's always good to see you. Ahmed Banafa, San Jose State University. Thank you.